guys, and welcome back to Be Continued. Today, we're talking to content creator and cookbook author Danny Freeman and his husband, Steve Wengrovitz. Hi, Danny and Steve. Thank you so much for coming. We're so excited to meet you guys in person. We followed you for such a long time.
Oh my God, thank you for having us. We're so happy to be here.
Yeah, it's great.
It's gonna be so much fun. We're so excited.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were thinking we'd start with some pasta hot takes.
Ooh, all right.
So you can tell us your opinions.
Yeah, let's do it.
Pasta or ravioli?
Oh, pasta.
Ravioli.
Really? I'm surprised you didn't say ravioli, Danny.
I make a lot of ravioli. It's very beautiful. You can make it very colorful, but I prefer simple. I'm a simple eater. Like pasta and a red sauce, that's all I need.
That's true. That's true. You cannot go wrong. That takes us to our next question, which is Alfredo or marinara?
Ooh, marinara.
Marinara?
I would say marinara.
I say Alfredo.
That's unusual.
Okay.
Most people say marinara.
Anything with cheese is inherently better.
Well, you haven't had his marinara, maybe.
Okay, maybe.
I will say our kids would prefer an Alfredo versus a marinara.
Interesting.
They don't like a lot of red sauce.
Is Alfredo pasta mac and cheese for adults?
A traditional Alfredo is very simple, just like the butter and the cheese, and that's it. And you mix it together. There's no cream. It's not heavy like American Alfredo.
Wait, that's so interesting.
Yeah, it's
I
like
didn't know
think
that.
of when you're a kid, you eat like butter noodles with cheese on it. That's basically a traditional
Yeah,
Alfredo.
That's super interesting.
Wait, that's so interesting. But there's cheese in the sauce, right?
Yeah, there's cheese, just cheese and butter, really.
So
There's no
interesting.
cream, there's no milk, there's nothing. It's not a thick sauce like a jar of Alfredo. So it actually is very light, and I think, I'm gonna say yes to that. It is.
So interesting.
If you could only have one pasta sauce for the rest of your life, what would it be?
You know, we were talking about this earlier. I said my favorite sauce is a bolognese sauce, and he was very surprised because I don't make that often because he's a vegetarian and I'm not. So I don't make a lot of meat sauce, but I love a bolognese.
True or false? Protein does not belong on pasta.
I tend to not put protein on pasta unless it's a meat sauce, like if there's meat in the sauce, but I don't tend to serve pasta with chicken on it or fish on it. I tend to serve them separately. So
I agree with that.
that's
So you're true.
Yeah, so true.
Okay, if you could only have one pasta shape for the rest of your life, what would it be?
I don't mind. Do you know yours?
Yeah, I think so.
Mine is
What is it?
rigatoni. That's my favorite pasta shape.
It's
It's like a heavier penne. It like
Okay.
holds the
I
sauce
like
really
that
well.
one.
It's got
That's
some
fair.
heart
That's
to
very-
it.
It's good for
Very
bolognese
fair.
specifically.
I think bucatini, like really al dente bucatini, it's like thick.
No,
it's like
what
really
does that
thick
look like?
spaghetti.
It's the thick spaghetti with the hole in the middle.
I didn't even know that's
Hole
what
in
it was
the middle.
called.
I haven't
Okay,
had that in such a long
interesting.
time.
Like,
but I
especially
know
if it's
what you're
really
talking
al
about.
dente and it
I've
just
never
has
had
this like
that.
really good chew to it. It's
Yeah.
Really interesting.
Okay, I think that's a very
Wait,
valid
I have had
answer.
that actually. Yeah, I was gonna say fusilli. I don't know. I just
Okay.
always liked fusilli. It just like gives
I
me
always
like a
use
happy
fusilli
vibe.
like in a pasta salad. That's what I think of that for.
It's good with like marinara too. Like
Yeah.
I feel like it holds sauce well. You were gonna say penne.
I say penne usually, but recently I think bow tie is really cute.
Okay.
That's true.
It's
That's
fun.
true. That's true. Penne is like objectively better tasting though.
I agree.
It's like more better mouthfeel.
I agree. It has better mouthfeel, yes.
But
that's
penne,
the-
I'll say bow tie is my favorite shape to make. If you're gonna make a pasta from
so cute.
scratch, you're learning how to make a shape. I always tell people start with a bow tie because it's cute, it's easy. You got that
Yeah.
little pinch in the middle. So that's my favorite one to make.
Although it is harder to do than it looks, I think. I have a
I
lot of trouble.
bet.
I'm not an origami person. He does origami all the time. It is hard to make the little
I bet it would be.
pinch.
I never thought about that. That's really interesting.
You know what I feel like happens so much to me is when you open a box of pasta, like you make your own pasta, so you probably don't experience this, but like from the grocery store, and like there's a random shape in there that's not in there.
That's so
like they're all
true.
bow tie, and then all of a sudden you're like, why is there a penne in here? Like this is so weird. Like should I not
we do
eat it?
a lot of box pasta too. I don't always make it. And yes, I've had that happen to me too.
True or false? Pasta is better served cold.
I'm going to say false. Although I do love a pasta salad in the summer. I do love a pasta salad, but I'm going to say false.
I have a thing about cold food. I think that all food is better cold. That's my opinion. No one agrees with me. Like pizza, pasta, potatoes. I think anything is better cold.
weird.
I don't know why. I think it's like more
weird.
flavorful. What do you think?
I like cold pad thai. I know that's really
Yeah.
weird, but I like
Yeah,
that.
no,
Like
that
the,
is- that's good,
the
that's
morning
good.
after leftovers.
Yeah. Every time we make something, she's like, let's just put it in the fridge for
make it
2
cold.
hours. It's just so much better. I don't
would
want
be.
to have the
It would
potato
be.
hot. Let's put it in the fridge.
I feel like you can't
put
taste
the
it as
salt
well.
on it and let it marinate.
I'll try, but I don't think I'm with you on that one.
More sauce than noodle or more noodle than sauce?
Noodle than sauce.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't like it
opposite.
too saucy.
No.
I'm like extra
Yes.
sauce. I want more
Yes.
sauce.
Look, the thing is, the pasta is just a carrier for the sauce. The
Totally
whole point
agree.
is the
I
sauce.
agree.
Nobody's like, oh, I really would like a plain bowl of pasta.
I
please.
love plain pasta. I think it's so good just like on its own.
I think pasta can stand on its own too.
I think so.
Yeah.
It also
With nothing on
the
it.
homemade pasta tastes so much better than the box
That's
pasta too.
probably
It's a
true.
completely different
that's
like
fair, that's
flavor.
fair, that's
profile.
fair.
I'm now
True.
super spoiled because
But
I
is
get it
that
all the
not
time.
also true about homemade sauce?
Oh, totally.
So therefore, the sauce is still better.
I'm still on team sauce.
Yeah, sauce.
Okay, so let's do some couples who's more likely to. Okay, so who's more likely to eat the same 3 meals every day for a month?
Oh, I'm gonna say me.
You.
Yeah.
Do you just like not get sick of things? I don't get sick
I
of
never
things.
get sick of things. Even when I go to a restaurant, I often order pasta with marinara sauce. Even though I eat it at home all the time, I never get sick of it.
And I can't order pasta out at restaurants now because his stuff
Really?
is so much better.
Wait, that's so interesting.
Huh.
Oh my god.
Do you get sick of things, Steve?
No, I don't think so. I think I'm like once I find something that I really like, I stick with it, but I can't have it every day over and over and over.
Hadley gets very sick of things.
Well, I think when sometimes if you have something too much, you just get the ick off of it, and then one day you wake up and you're like, I've been having ham for breakfast too much. I need something else.
For breakfast.
And you've already bought it in bulk, so you have to finish it.
Who's more likely to cook something and leave 100 dishes in the sink?
Me.
Really?
He used to be so good at doing all the dishes. I don't want to put him on the spot, but like maybe a year ago he fell off of doing dishes, and so often I'm scrubbing the dishes late at night.
I did used to be better. I need to get better.
You probably use more dishes though,
I
Danny.
use a lot. You know, when I was writing the cookbook and I was cooking 5 or 6 recipes a day, I would just fill the sink with the pots and just leave them there because I don't want to stop what I'm doing to clean them up all the time. So when I was really writing the cookbook, it was just the kitchen was a mess all the time. Now I'm a little bit better, but it used to be bad.
I would wake up early in the morning with the girls and basically like feed them breakfast, and while they're eating breakfast, start scrubbing all of the pans that he left from the night before. That
Oh, wow.
he'd made all
Wait,
these
that's
dishes
nice,
while I was
though.
sleeping
That's so
overnight.
nice.
That was before he fell
But-
off the
Yeah,
ladder.
that was I have not done that
way
in a
back
while.
when.
Maybe it was like too much. You just got overloaded on dishes and you need some time off.
All right, Scout's honor. I'll go back to helping.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw somebody on TikTok who said they never did the dishes, and then one day they did their dishes, and then their cat like sat on top of the dishwasher because he likes to steam. So now they're motivated to do the dishes every day because it makes the cat like happy and warm. So that,
We
that
did
could
we
be
did just
something.
get a new
cat.
dishwasher.
That's what you need to do your dishes.
The girls really would like us to get a cat.
Oh, we have
We,
two
we have
cats.
a 15-year-old dog, so
Aww.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he wants another pet in the house, but maybe
You
eventually
might
we'll
be
get
surprised.
we'll get
I
another
might
pet.
bring some youth to his life.
Dogs, I'm such a cat person, but dogs are sweeter, I think, with kids.
They are.
Because cats are like finicky.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes they
And
just
our
don't
kids,
like
our
you.
kids are they'll chase after the cat. They'll try to grab his tail. We gotta wait till they're a little bit older.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. And cats can be
Those
more
poor cat.
mean.
Yeah.
Be careful
Yeah,
with that.
cats do not have patience for our girls.
Yeah. Cats also hit a certain age, or like our younger cat, he was so sweet and he's just hit that age. He's like 2 now and he just is so grumpy and he doesn't want to be held. And it's like so sad.
He doesn't want to be my friends anymore. It's okay. I'll unpack it later.
Who's more likely to put on a kid's cartoon without any kids in the room? Just for themselves. Neither of you.
We don't really we don't watch a lot of TV.
watch
We don't have a
TV.
TV at home.
Oh,
we
wait,
don't really
wow.
watch a
Really?
lot of TV.
But I think there are some of the kid shows that I have gotten into a little bit. I mean, Bluey has some good
I was
episodes.
Bluey's so good.
Yeah, I'll admit to that. We read a lot of the Bluey books, the Bluey shows. So that's one that I think, even as an adult, I feel like you can get a little bit out of it.
I think you can, definitely.
Bluey is like not obnoxious, you know? Like a lot of kids shows, the kids are very like whiny and like it's very loud and like high pitched, and Bluey's very calming.
It's calming, and there's got some lessons in
Yeah, it has a
there.
good
You know, you see the
lessons.
dad's and mom's perspective a little bit
You
sometimes.
see the parents' perspective a lot more, I think. It's interesting.
We have been doing a lot of singing along to K-pop Demon Hunters
Oh,
lately.
yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't know if
that
that
is
counts
fun.
as a cartoon as much as a
It
movie,
counts
but
as like something
animated
similar,
movie, yeah.
like a kids
Yeah.
movie.
so the girls love that. We
That's so
sing
cool.
along.
I think we have to start with the beginning of your relationship because you guys have been together for, is it 11 years? Is that right?
We've been together
Longer.
for 18 years.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
insane.
That's
Wild.
forever.
When I think about it, it's wild.
Aw, which is almost 2 decades.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
You have
So
to do
Yeah, we have to
something
do a big party.
celebrate.
you do.
At 20.
So tell us how you met. Like, what was the first moment? What were your impressions of each other? Did
So
sparks fly?
is this hard to believe, but we met before not only like all of the dating apps, but even before the iPhone came out. This was
Really?
like this
Yeah,
is
we
like
didn't have
ancient.
Oh my
smartphones
God,
back
This is
then.
truly a long time
Crazy.
ago.
So
we were
old.
set up on an actual blind date. We had a mutual friend who
Wait,
set us
really?
up on a real blind date, like old fashioned style.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I was in college. he's a couple years older. He was working in Boston, and we had a mutual friend who said, "Oh, I think you should meet my friend Steve." And we met. We went out to a Mexican restaurant in Cambridge, and
It's now closed.
yeah, it's now closed. And we hit it off. And this was right. It was actually right around this time. It was right before Christmas break. I went home for Christmas break. We didn't see each other for maybe a month, and then I come back to school. We said, hey, do you want to get together again? And so that was it. And then we've been together ever since.
So what was your first impression of Steve?
I
how
first
would
saw
you have
him, so
described him?
I saw him. He had gotten there a little early, so I saw him through the window, and he was reading a book and just sitting there, like looking very studious.
That is very
I thought,
studious.
Okay, all right. He seems very smart, and then he's very talkative and very friendly. He's very personable.
Wait,
and
Steve,
I
were you
love that about
actually
him.
reading, or were you trying to seem smart?
No.
I love to sit in cafes.
That's what I
with
thought you
my-
were
So
going to
was
say.
legit.
It wasn't performative reading.
Maybe my choice of book. I probably did not put. I probably picked a good book to
was
read.
the
So it looked
book?
really impressive. I have no idea.
I
what
think
the
it was
book
Infinite Jest.
Infinite Jest.
I think
yeah.
it was.
A book that
She
I've
said
tried to
he's never
read
finished.
4 times and I cannot finish it.
So what was your first impression of Danny?
He was really cute.
Aw.
I knew at that point he had already got into law school in New York City. So I was like, oh, he's so smart. I don't know if I was nervous. I probably was nervous to go on a blind date, but it felt really natural. Like we were just able to talk right away.
Was it love at first sight?
Not quite.
No. Sounds like a no.
It wasn't not love at first sight, but I think
Yeah,
there was a connection right away.
There was a connection right away, and I was, like you said, I was about to graduate. This was my senior year. I was moving to New York City for law school, and so we were in this weird situation where it was like, all right, I'm
I had a job in
leaving. Are we going to be
Boston.
just sort of casual and move on with our lives, or are we really going to get to know each other in these like 3 months before I move? And so we got to know each other. We really liked each other. So for a year then, we were long distance because I was in law school, and then he moved to New York a year later.
I had always wanted to move from Boston to New York City, so this was a good excuse of like, all right, let's try this.
Yeah.
It's a good fit.
We had a teeny tiny apartment in the Upper West Side. It felt amazing then, but
Yeah,
I think back to that apartment, there were mice in it.
Oh no.
Oh my
yeah.
god.
a lot of cockroaches. And we couldn't cook in that apartment because the oven didn't work. If we wanted to cook something, we had to go to our neighbor's apartment to cook.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So how did you get from dating to being engaged? How long did it take?
7 years.
Yeah.
It was a long time.
Oh wow.
So tell
But I
us
think that's
about
I think that's actually good advice.
Yeah,
There's no
that's
reason
very
to
good
rush
advice.
into
I agree.
anything. And
Yeah, we were young. I was only 21 when we met. And so we were not rushing into anything. But we had moved in together in New York. Then I graduated law school. We were working. We adopted our dog when I was in law school. So we were kind of building a life. And then we had sort of vaguely talked about it. Like, do you want to get married one day? Who's going to propose? And we had come to this understanding that I would be the one to propose. I don't know if we ever were explicit about it, but I felt like we both understood that. We were kind of waiting. So I decided to buy a ring because I wanted something to propose with. So I bought a little cheap ring, and we were going on vacation to the beach, and we went on a walk along the beach, and I was so nervous the whole time. We were about to leave the beach to go back to our house.
he really was nervous. I was like, why are you were
We
being
had to
really
stop. I
weird
was
right
running
now.
out of time. So no, stop here. And then I got down on my knee and thankfully, I got down on my knee. I pulled out the ring, and he yells, "No!"
Why? Why?
as a surprise. I
I
was
was
like,
like he was surprised. He was
no, I
like,
can't believe this is
way.
happening. Which is like the only word that you should not yell if
No
that's
way.
happening
he
to
said
you.
no, and I
But you
remember
should've
just being
said,
like, I paused, and he's like, "No, keep going." And then he
so
said yes.
Wait, so did you expect Danny to propose then? Like, did you see it coming?
I had no idea.
Really? Because I feel like so many people are like, I actually knew it was happening that day. No, you didn't.
So you were like really stealthy. About it.
No, we
Yeah,
were
I
just
had
we were
brought-
on,
Really
like,
impressive. I've never heard
um,
anyone say that.
long weekend vacation.
Yeah, it was
at
a
the
long
beach.
weekend. I brought the ring on the plane and just sort of hid it in my bag and stuck it in my pocket before that walk. Yeah.
That's so cute. Did you guys do engagement photos? Like the hidden camera thing?
No. It's funny because it was February and this was in North Carolina, so it was like kind of cold. So the beach was totally empty. But we later found out that the beach where we go has like a beach camera that they set up 24/7, like
Oh,
web streamed
that's
it.
lucky.
Back then you could live stream the beach. So and we were right in the spot of the camera. So perhaps someone was watching if they were bored at home and they were watching that feed. But
They're like, whoa, a proposal.
We should have contacted them and asked. Like,
Yeah, I know.
if
You
we
should
could
try to
get
get it.
I wanted to
footage.
keep that footage. I mean, obviously now, but
So tell us about the wedding.
well, we got married in upstate New York, Saratoga Springs, which is near where I grew up. But after we got engaged, we moved to Palo Alto because he got a job out there. So we were trying to plan the wedding from California, but getting married back in New York. So it was a lot of like calling. My parents are still in New York, so calling them up, like they could run out to do something. But then we got married in a like 1920s. It used to be like a casino gambling parlor ballroom with beautiful stained glass windows. Like we had a big wedding.
Okay, 2 weeks before the wedding, speaking of the stained glass windows, 2 weeks before the wedding, we got a
blocked this
call. You really have blocked this out. That either the city or the state had like condemned the building because the stained glass ceiling was not like up to code, and
it's
it
a
could fall.
historic building.
It's a historic building.
Could fall.
And so,
my
like
gosh.
2 weeks before the wedding, they're like, the venue's not there. We're kind of we actually didn't really freak out as much as one might
It was so
expect.
bad. My mom's friend was at a wedding,
And they canceled it.
and they had to cancel it that day because it got condemned, or
Oh.
it failed inspection.
Wait,
Good, you heard in advance, I
And
guess.
so
then.
my mom was calling me like, oh, this is happening. And I was like, can you get more information? Like, what's going on? And it was horrible. I cried. And then we found.
And I got into action mode.
Yeah.
It's like we had a backup mode.
We had a backup. We found a backup venue very last minute. And then,
which we didn't need. But
which we ended up not needing because the city ended up, I guess, letting
they
them
did
move
some
forward
like
with
temporary
weddings.
repairs to the
Yeah.
building, but that was
Oh,
like
that's great.
a last minute hiccup. That
Yeah.
Well, it's good that the ceiling did not fall during.
No,
your
no
wedding.
problem. No one got hurt. It was
Not
a
have been
beautiful
good story.
wedding.
That would've
We
been
had all our
worse.
friends and family there. We had our ceremony was outside in a public park, and at that time we each had a set of grandparents living. So we had all four of our grandparents speaking at
that's
the
so
wedding
special.
about their marriage and about life and love. And then we
Dan's Catholic, I'm Jewish, and so it was kind of this blend of
Oh, wait, that's so
different traditions. We kind
cool.
of
I
picked the
love
traditions
that.
that we liked best from each of our families, which made it really unique.
it was really fun. We had a beautiful celebration and party, and yeah.
Yeah, our friends are down for a good party.
So on the subject of wedding traditions, how do you feel about smashing cake in each other's face? Because I'm
a
not
big
a
no.
fan.
No.
I don't understand
We
that.
hadn't even talked about it for like, do not even as
No.
a joke. Don't even like start.
Because I feel
No.
like, what's the point? Like, everyone tries so hard to look nice at their wedding. and then-
Especially like, I mean, for a bride who has a face full of makeup,
Right,
and
like,
a
I just feel
veil,
like-
you don't want cake over your
I think
dress.
it can be cute if you do it last. I mean, I wouldn't.
I would
I
never
wouldn't
wanna
do
do
that
that.
like in the smack middle of something.
But
But, like,
we,
I think if you
we had a
agree on
really
it.
yummy cake. Also.
Wait, what was
We
the
did-
cake?
It was from Mama Fuku Milk Bar,
Ooh.
which is
What was
excellent.
the flavor?
There's 3 tiers, so each tier there's like kind of a funfetti
Oh wait, that's
cake.
love
There's a
it.
chocolate one, and the top layer I think
was like apple crumb. It's like seasoned- it was
Wait,
like
that's
fall.
so good.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to
so
waste any of it by smashing it into the face. We want every
I
bite.
agree with that.
That's very fair. Do you like fruit cakes or like chocolate vanilla better?
I'm a big chocolate person. Dan is like the only person in the world that does not like chocolate.
You
I
don't
don't
like
understand.
chocolate?
I don't.
How
I don't.
not?
I love
I don't really ever go for chocolate. I mean, I'll eat
Why?
chocolate. I'm not anti-chocolate, but it's just I don't really love eating chocolate.
It's so good.
I would much prefer a fruit dessert or a vanilla. I don't like chocolate ice cream. So, and him and our 2 daughters love chocolate. So
I
I'm
would
outnumbered.
always pick vanilla over chocolate. Like, I'll pick funfetti or like cookie dough, whatever, over chocolate,
too.
but I will always pick chocolate over fruit because I don't love like a
I don't
lemon
like
cake.
fruit flavored cakes very much. Like strawberry cake, I maybe I just haven't had a good strawberry cake, but I feel like it just gets so rich. And it's too like
It's
one
overwhelming.
flavor. I don't know, because I feel like if I want
me.
strawberries, I could just eat strawberries, but you don't just eat vanilla on its own. You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
I'm still in chocolate land.
That's a good point, right? yeah. He's like, this conversation isn't even worth having.
I love a lemon cake. I love.
Yeah, you do. You like lemon cakes.
There's
Do
a
you
recipe
bake at all?
I do like to bake. Yeah. I don't do as much as I do cooking, but there's a chapter in my new cookbook that's desserts. So I was
Oh,
doing a lot of
yay.
baking cakes. He was my biggest taste tester.
That was a really hard job to taste all of his desserts. Yeah.
So
He
I like
probably
to
gets to
bake.
taste everything. All the
Yeah,
pastas.
everything that was vegetarian in both of his cookbooks, I've tried multiple times.
Are you a
happily.
harsh critic? Are you like, this needs more
I
salt,
don't know.
sauce?
I wouldn't say harsh. I think I give helpful feedback of trying to make it a really good.
Constructive feedback.
I think you don't hold back. You can be critical, not in a way that hurts my
he's a harsh
feelings,
critic.
but in a way of like, all right, now I'm getting down to business. These are the things you need to change, or here's what didn't work for me. So ultimately, it's helpful.
You know, it's coming from a
It's
place
helpful.
of
That's
love,
good,
and I want
though.
the
Yeah.
recipe to
It
be
means
perfect.
you can
Yeah.
like change it.
Yeah, I mean, it's better to hear that up front versus after, everything's
Better to
already
hear
done.
it from Steve than
That's
to hear
true.
it
Yeah,
from
he can.
someone who bought
he
the
can say it.
cookbook, I guess.
Right.
So like, would you consider yourself like a good cook, Steve?
I'm passable.
Like average.
Before, if you asked 6 years ago, I would have been the one who did most of the cooking in our house,
Interesting.
and then we totally flipped. As
Yeah,
she
you used to
became-
do a lot more cooking than I did. Just like living in New York City, working as a lawyer, I didn't really want to come home and cook. We did a lot of takeout back then.
That makes sense.
But then when we did cook, you would like to,
pour a glass of wine and start playing
you
around.
like
the
to find a
kitchen.
good recipe somewhere and really get into it.
Yeah, especially if we could like reverse engineer a recipe from a restaurant that we went to. We're like, oh, this is really good. We should figure out how to make this at home. I would play around and try to do
That's
that.
really fun.
Like a good salad, which I think I actually ended up making it in there.
So Danny, tell us, how did you start taking pasta like really seriously? Like, how did you go from usually having takeout to like making your own pasta?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I started really 2020. So I was someone who started during COVID when a lot of other people were starting creating online. Our older daughter was born in 2020, and at that time we couldn't see any family. We had moved away from New York, and we were kind of all alone. And so that year for Christmas, we couldn't go home for Christmas. And I come from a big Italian American family where we get together every year for every holiday, and there's a lot of traditions and food. And my grandmother would always make fresh pasta for Christmas. And so I decided I was going to make her recipe, and I was going to make all our other traditional foods for Christmas just for the two of us and our baby. So I made fresh pasta. I FaceTimed my family. I FaceTimed my grandmother to show her. And then maybe 2 or 3 weeks after Christmas, my grandmother ended up passing away very unexpectedly. I mean, she was 96, so it wasn't totally unexpectedly, but she had not been sick or anything. And I was very close with her my entire life, even from childhood to adulthood. I was very close with her. And she died the very same week that my parental leave was ending, and I was going back to work as a lawyer.
Yeah.
We were new parents. We, hadn't seen family in a long time. It was just this kind of rough period. And so I found myself late at night or during nap time, I would be making more pasta. I wanted to learn her recipes, and I wanted to have some time to myself in the kitchen. And if you're kneading pasta dough, it's very meditative, and you can kind of I felt connected with her. And I also I remember thinking of just being so sad that my daughter will never know my grandmother, who meant so much to me. And how can I keep her memory alive? And so I was really trying to do that through food and trying to learn her recipes. And so that is what made me really fall in love with it, was trying to recreate her recipes and trying to keep her spirit alive. And then I ended up, taking a different direction. I made very colorful pasta and silly pasta. That's not what she did, but really it started with her.
That's really amazing. So what are some of like your earliest favorite memories around food?
There was a few times in my childhood where we would make fresh pasta, and back then it would feel like a whole day-long production. Like we would get out, we have, there's my great-grandmother's pasta maker, which I still have. It's one of the crank ones. And we would put bed sheets over the chairs, the backs of the chairs, and we'd make the pasta strands, make the spaghetti, and lay them out over the backs of the
that's so
chairs to
creative.
dry.
Mate, that's
And so the whole
crazy.
house or the whole dining and living and kitchen would be covered with the pasta. I also remember that my grandmother was an amazing cook, and she would make, eggplant and lasagna and sausage and fish and calamari and all these different things. And I was a very picky eater as a kid. Now I'm a little bit better, but back then the only thing I ever wanted to eat was pasta with marinara sauce. And I remember some Christmases where there'd be this big feast, and then it was time to eat, and my grandmother would like kind of pull me over to the side. She'd pull over this little bowl of the pasta, the sauce she had made
that's
just
so
for me, just the
special.
plain version that I would eat. And that always made me feel just, so special and loved that she would do that, even though she had so much other things to make.
That's so
I
sweet.
really love that story. So what like inspired you to start branching out and making it like more colorful and like creative?
Well, I remember after I started making pasta, I posted a couple pictures online, and I thought, oh, my friends probably don't want to see all these pasta pictures. So let me try something different. I had never been on TikTok before, but I knew it was for video. I never produced a video. I never made a video for social media before, but I thought, let me make a TikTok account and I will make pasta making videos, just showing what I'm doing. I didn't even show my face, and I thought, if this is horrible, like in 2 weeks, I'm going to delete this account. It's like it never happened. I didn't tell any of my friends or anything. So at first I was just like showing basic recipes. Here's what I'm learning. Here's some shapes you can make. And then over time, I feel like people on social media are so creative. I just got so inspired by other people, and people would ask me, oh, can you try this recipe? Can you do this? And there's a few ingredients that are traditional, like spinach pasta to make it green, and beet pasta to make it red. So then I started thinking, well, are there other vegetables you can use to make colorful pasta across the rainbow? And then people would ask, can you make pasta inspired by this character? So it was really just started little by little, and then people would push me further, and then I just had fun with it.
I feel like that's a really interesting point, though, that you don't use like food dyes in your ravioli. Like it's
Yeah.
all like actual ingredients.
Yeah, every color I make is either a vegetable that I pureed or
Wow.
like turmeric or paprika, a spice.
I feel like that's really cool.
That's so much better for you because there's all kinds of stuff in dyes that just like aren't.
Yeah, I
something you
mean,
wanna
just like
ingest.
for the kids, I don't know. I feel like it's a
Yeah.
good way to get some vegetables into.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
true.
very true.
get some
Actually,
other flavor in there.
So, do you have a favorite ravioli you've ever made?
Well, I did a whole series of cartoon character ravioli for
I love
our
this.
daughter.
Wait, I saw the bluey one. That's so cute.
It started with Peppa Pig because she liked Peppa Pig, and I made her Peppa Pig ravioli. And then people would ask me for other characters, and at the time, she didn't know a lot of characters, and so I would show her the pasta, and she would often get it wrong. Like she would say, I remember one was a minion. She thought it was Mr. Potato Head. Or,
I see that though. I see how
yeah.
you can make
That
that
makes
up.
sense.
So it was kind of cute. Like I would make a shape and then she would not quite know what it was. So I really loved doing all of these characters with the different colors. And then one thing we've done now, maybe 4 or 5 years, is do Christmas tree ravioli.
I just saw your Christmas tree. That was
Yeah,
so
that's
cute.
been fun. Instead of, when I was a kid, we would always decorate Christmas cookies. And so now, like I would make the ravioli with the green dough and then make different colors, and the kids can like use cookie cutters to cut out shapes and put them on the trees. So that's kind of been a fun tradition.
So when did you realize that pasta could become your career?
Even early on, this is earlier days of TikTok where you could go viral pretty easily.
Yeah.
Like I would post a pasta video of a green pasta and it would go viral, get 1 million views. But it wasn't necessarily getting me a lot of traction or a lot
That's
of
interesting.
followers because it's like, oh, funny video, keep scrolling. And then maybe 6 months in, I made a video where I was talking about why I love making pasta and why it means so much to me. And I told the story of my grandmother passing away and how I was trying to keep her recipes alive and how I wanted to create memories for my daughter. And that video really resonated with people. And that video, I had so many comments from people telling me, yeah, I'm trying to keep I'm making the recipes from my childhood, or, oh, my grandmother or grandfather used to make this dish and now I want to recreate it, or something like that. It connected with people. And so that brought me maybe 100,000 followers. And then that is where things kind of snowballed from there. So a few months after that, I was still working as a lawyer, and we were trying to juggle childcare with our daughter. I would be in Zoom court. Like I'd be in court with like a suit jacket on and my shorts, and I'd be on my computer talking to the judge.
I have the receipts. I have pictures of him doing that.
And our daughter would be like crying in the background. And so it was just a lot. And so I talked to my job about taking a leave of absence. And I took a leave of absence thinking I might go back to that job. And it was during that time when I started getting more serious about content creation. I started working on my first cookbook. And so by the time that leave of absence was up, I just never went back to the lawyer job.
So let's talk about the inspiration for your first cookbook.
My first cookbook is Danny Loves Pasta, which is my name on social media. And it's all about pasta and fresh pasta. It's for a beginner who has never made pasta before, who has no pasta machine, and it'll show you how to make fresh pasta dough from scratch, how to roll it out, how to make shapes. Or it's for someone who has experience and they want to try making colorful pasta with the vegetables and the spices we talked about before. It has a lot of traditional shapes in it, like bow ties, things like that. But it also has fun shapes like the Christmas tree ravioli.
That's so
or
fun.
fun patterns. It's got you can make striped dough. And then it also has pasta sauces. So if you just want to use a box of pasta, you can go to the sauces too. But that's really all about my love for pasta and in all forms.
It also has a secret real chocolate chip cookie recipe that
Really?
I insisted make it into that book because it is the best chocolate chip
Wow.
cookie you've ever had.
There's one recipe in the book that's not pasta, only one. And it's because he told me I had to include it.
It's
'cause
so good.
He loves chocolate chip cookies. And I'd been making these chocolate chip cookies for him, for our kids. And he's like, you need to get that in there. And I said, no, it's not. This is a pasta book. I cannot put that. There's not even a dessert chapter. But I did sneak it in.
So you just put it in last or in the middle?
He made a chocolate chip cookie ravioli.
Oh,
And then the real chocolate-
Yeah, there's a ravioli that
smart.
looks like a chocolate chip cookie.
That's very
and then
smart.
there's like, here's the real recipe for a real cookie.
Maybe you should do a cookie cookbook. It'd be fun.
I do like to bake, and you like to eat
I'm
baked
happy
foods.
to taste test
Yeah.
all of those.
But your new cookbook, it's not just pasta, right?
Yeah, so after Danny Loves Pasta was published, a month later, our second daughter was born, and she was, we love her, but she was a very difficult baby. She was very colicky, and every second she was screaming her head off. She was always uncomfortable. We had to try all these different foods for her. And the only thing that ever would calm her down was those big, like, exercise balls, and I'd have to sit on top and just bounce with her all night long. And so, I didn't have time to make fresh pasta after that. Our cooking had to change. We also had a toddler, and toddlers are picky, and they want the same thing over and over again. But someone who likes to cook, I was like, I still want to try fun recipes. I want to try something different, but I don't want to spend all this time making a new recipe, then she doesn't eat it, and the baby's crying. So I ended up doing a lot of twists on foods that I knew she liked. Like, she loves Italian food. She loves spaghetti meatballs. Let me see if I can take those flavors and do them a little bit differently. Let me see if I can take a recipe from my childhood, like a lasagna, turn it into a lasagna soup, or let me see if I can do like a one-pan version. So a lot of the new book, Italianish, is based on the food that we were eating at that time with young kids, where it's you need a quick and easy meal, you need something that's not going to take too long, but also you want something new and exciting. So it's like fresh takes on Italian American food that are not too complicated to make.
That's so cool. Like, you have little like scrapbooks with like the stuff you ate in different times of your life. Do you like the cookbooks? That's
Yeah.
so
My
cool.
mom has kept lists of like what she would make for different holidays, and so I look through all of those for inspiration. All my grandmother's recipe cards I have, and so also what we were eating. So I took a lot from my childhood, from the food that we were eating, and it's a more traditional cookbook. It's got appetizers, main courses, soup, salad, dessert, whereas the first one is all pasta.
How did you land on the title?
Well, I think you probably know that people on social media can be a little bit mean sometimes. And, I cook. I'm not super controversial, but a lot of the hate that I get is when I tried a twist on a recipe and people tell me, you can't make Italian food that way. You cannot put that ingredient in that sauce. That's not the way that my grandmother made it. And I don't mind trying something new and pushing the boundaries a little bit, but that is what gets me the most hate, is a recipe is not, exactly the same way as it's always been done. So I'll put in a new ingredient, or I'll make a one-pan version or whatever, and people will comment. And so when I was thinking of the title, I thought, this is all based in Italian food, Italian American food, but it's not quite traditional. So it's more Italian-ish because it's got those vibes, but it is something new and different.
Are you quick to decide on things like how to design the cover, or are you very like indecisive about it?
Oh, thankfully, the publisher had a great team, a great designer, a great photographer. We had a 10-day photo shoot. So they asked me ahead of time, what dishes do you think could be on the cover? And it was hard. You want something that is really eye-catching, but also embodies the book. I remember we had another cover that was beautiful photo, but it wasn't quite as Italian, and it didn't quite maybe fit with Italianish.
I remember like you had an alternate cover on TikTok.
Yeah, I posted like this one or this one because we had maybe 3 or 4 different ones that it came down to. So it is hard because the cover, that's what everyone sees first. That's what they see online or at the bookstore, and you want to grab someone's attention.
So while you were shooting the pictures for the cookbook, like, were you able to shoot the food pretty much as it was, or did you have to like put like glue or spray or anything on it to make it look better?
That's a good question, because we did 10 recipes a day roughly, and we had a photographer, a food stylist. She had 2 assistants. So thankfully, I actually didn't have to do a lot of the cooking for the
really?
photo shoot. Her team did everything. But I was there to see how everything looked like. And so there were no, it's a balance because you want the photos to be beautiful. You want the food to look beautiful and enticing. But also with a cookbook, you want people to know what it's going to look like if they make it. Like if you cook a recipe, you do want to have some, you know, oh, this turned out wrong because it doesn't look that. So
That's true.
it has to look realistic, but also beautiful. So there weren't any like fake foods or glue, but there were, you know, we had food that would be sitting out all day until it was time to photograph, or certain components were made the day before. So I remember one time she was going over the food with a clothes steamer to try to make it look like hot and fresh. So there are little things like that to make it look like it had just been cooked if it had been sitting out for a while. But all the photos are like the real food. She followed the recipe exactly so that you know what you're getting.
Yeah, it's so funny because when we worked on like a cooking show a while back, like we would always put stuff like in the food. Like we would put like glue and empanadas, make them sit upright, and we put like Vaseline.
It was
to
always
make it look good.
inedible by the end of the day.
I know. Yeah, I think that is true, especially for like commercial food shoot. Like,
Yeah.
It's a lot of fake stuff. The cookbook, you're like trying to balance that versus
Yeah, that's a good point.
someone at home flipping through it to be like, did my dish come out right? You want it to look somewhat like they'll make
That's
it.
such interesting. That's a really
Yeah.
good point, actually.
So how do you feel like you guys' relationship has changed since you've become like this content creator, cookbook author?
I think probably the biggest thing that he probably wouldn't say, but he's a full-time dad. I have like a real 9-to-5 job. I'm in an office. I'm working. I think obviously he puts a lot of time and attention into being a content creator, but I think you would first say your main job is dad and then content creator. And so that flexibility, I mean, he works around the clock. He works really hard, especially like in the evening once the girls go to bed and I go to bed, he's in the kitchen working every night. But I think that flexibility and allows for us to have this kind of like very unique rhythm of how the two of us and you know our family work is very special, and I'm very grateful for you.
Aw, that's so
Yeah,
sweet.
I think you know, we don't have a daycare or a nanny. It's just me. I mean, our daughter's in kindergarten now, but I think I could not be with the kids the way I am if I was still a lawyer.
Yeah.
This job, being a content creator, has given me so much flexibility. If the kids are sick, I can be home. If I need to run and pick something up for them and bring them to dance class, I think it's helped us. If I had still a regular 9-to-5 or 9-to-6 or 7, whatever it was when I was a lawyer, and you had your job, we would just pull our hairs out. Like, can you pick them up? Or it was your turn, was it my turn?
That'd be really
So
stressful.
the flexibility has really helped us, I think, a lot. And I think in a way, when I was a lawyer, before kids, we would each go to our job. We were living in New York City. We would go out with friends. We'd go to happy hour or whatever.
Every night at 6 p.m. we'd
Yeah,
be like, what's your plan tonight?
Yeah, like we kind of were
see
more
you later.
independent, and not just with kids, but also with my job now, and we both work from home. I think it's brought us together a lot more in a different way. We spend, 24/7 together sometimes, and I think it's allowed us to. I feel it's allowed us to support each other in a different way.
Oh, that's so cute.
So how do you think you guys are most similar, and how do you think you're most different as a couple?
I think we're most different. I can start with that. Steve is much more type A. He's much more stressor, worrier. I'm much more nonchalant. Sometimes to a fault. Like sometimes I maybe don't take things as seriously as I should sometimes. And sometimes he's getting really worried about something. We haven't planned something. It's getting close. And I'm like, it'll be fine. So sometimes that causes some conflict between us.
I'm trying to embrace more of that.
Yeah.
Gotta be spontaneous.
For as long as I've known him, he's always been if it's meant to be, it'll work out. Don't worry about it. For everything.
Oh, you're working on being type A by not doing the dishes as much.
Yeah,
True.
exactly.
Okay. I'm going to use that next time they start piling up.
That's not what I meant. We're most similar. I think we've always had similar goals in our life about building a family together, and we bought a house together a few years ago, but I feel like for a long time, we're kind of drifting, moving around. We lived in a lot of different states, and now we've had some similar visions about what our life could be as a family.
Aw.
Yeah, we have this we were talking about our wedding earlier. in the vows that we wrote, there's some flavor of like, oh, I'm excited to like run through life with you by my side, or something like that. And so if you translate that to how it actually is, like, yeah, there's been like good miles and bad miles and all, but like we made a bunch of like code decisions as things have evolved over almost 2 decades. And I think, not that we always are in perfect agreement on them, but I think we're in perfect agreement of like, all right, let's figure out how we're going to do this next like mile together.
Well, that's the biggest difference, actually. So he's talking about miles. Steve is a runner. He's run almost 40 marathons.
Wait,
he runs every day, and
wow.
I am the laziest person. I don't
That's
exercise at all.
crazy.
So that is, he's an athlete, and I'm the opposite of an athlete. So that is the biggest difference.
He provides the carbohydrates. It's like it's symbiotic.
That's important if you're going to be a runner, though. It's true. So what would you say is your method for resolving like conflict and like hard times together?
But my method is like total avoidance. I'll go for a run and then come back and hope that it disappears. Dan's version would be like, let's talk about it forever.
Yeah.
Talk about it like
We've
in a
tried to come-
calm way or in an angry way.
I think a calm way. I mean, I would
always calm.
say, if we could get real for a second, after 18 years, we haven't quite figured this out, how to meld our styles. Because Steve is right. If we get into an argument, he would like to go for a run, come back, and just not talk about it, move on. And I'm like, let's have the conversation. Let's get to the root of this, and let's work through it. And he gets annoyed by that. So I wouldn't say that we have perfected how to meld those two styles, but we kind of muddle through it.
I think we've learned when to have those when to like actually do it, and when to be like, all right, let's wait. This is not the right moment to actually talk
Yeah,
through
I guess it depends on like how big the argument is, like how important it is. I would say like if it's a big deal, talk about it, and if it's something smaller, I guess move on.
Yeah, I have tried to drop things more as we've gotten older, like not make everything a conversation and just move on. And I think he's tried more to, sit through some talks if we actually need to talk about something.
So Danny, what would you say is your favorite thing about Steve?
He's very personable. He's the type of person who like lights up a room if he comes
He is
in. He
very
talks to
personable.
everyone, even if he doesn't know you. I'm much more shy in real life, and he is the one who usually is like pulling me out of my shell a bit. He's the one who, if we are around people we don't know, like we're at a wedding or something, he's the one who's making friends with everyone. And that's always been harder for me, so I've always admired that about him.
So he kind of pulls you into social circles.
Yeah, I think that I'm more socially awkward than he is, and he could talk to anybody, and that has helped me a bit.
That's interesting.
And yet he has
'cause
no problem being like
That's what I
famous
was
on
gonna
social
say.
media. And like I was
that's
so nervous
interesting
coming
that
to the
you're, like, on
podcast.
that you're the one who's on social media, but you consider yourself more shy.
I do think in real life I am much more shy than he is. And maybe social media has been a good way for me to break out of my shell a bit, or to explore like a different side of myself and come out to, talking about my life and being more open in a way that I am not always in person. So I don't know, it's different. I feel like even when I've done, like live TV appearances, I've done a lot of cooking segments and things. I really enjoy doing those, and I feel really comfortable doing those. But in real life,
so
I'd be so much more
interesting.
nervous, like cooking in front of a group of people if we weren't doing that.
It is different though,
It's different, yeah.
It's different. One is more of like it's about like a performance more, I guess, and one is more about like interacting. I guess it's different. I
I
definitely
think that's
see the
true. I do
difference.
think that I feel like I have learned how to sort of, I don't want to say turn it on because it's my real personality, but
I
just
know
be
exactly
more
what you
open
mean,
in
yeah.
a performance way, or in a setting where I'm on TV or something, versus
It's like
having
turning up your personality.
versus at a party where I might be more nervous about talking to people.
So Steve, what would you say is your favorite thing about Danny?
He is an amazing father. Period. He's just
That's
like
such a
the
good
best.
answer.
I wish, like, there's many times where I watch him do it. I'm like, how does he deal with that situation without getting
Aw.
upset about it? Or how does he, like, he's just bonded with our
Very
girls so
patient.
much. It's unbelievable.
So Danny, you're saying you didn't like cooking in like public spaces. How do you think you would do in like Top Chef?
When I first started cooking on social media, at that time, like, a lot of the shows were reaching out to people on social media because it was new. Like, oh, you're a
really? They reached out to you?
TikToker. And, these places, these shows would reach out. And at that time, I was like, absolutely not. I will never do a show like that. One, I didn't want to be away. You have to go like film for a month or something. But also, I felt like I'd be so nervous under the pressure. But now I think I could do it. Now I feel more comfortable. I've been on, I've just done
should do it.
social media more.
That would be so
maybe.
fun.
Now you're like a month away from everyone. That
Yeah,
sounds
maybe.
great.
Yeah. Now I feel like maybe I also have more easygoing about it now that I've been doing social media for 5 years. I've written these 2 cookbooks. If I go on a show and I'm cut first, I'm like, it's just all for the experience. Like,
Yeah.
before that would have
a
made me
good
nervous. I'd
attitude.
have to
That's
perform so
true.
well. And now I'm like, it's just a fun experience, and whatever happens, happens.
That's a good way of looking at it. Yeah, I feel like you can't put too much pressure, or like you're just gonna do it
I
yourself.
think so. That's what I have learned. My grandmother used to always say, "It is what it is." That was her favorite expression.
I
Like,
agree with that.
If something happens, it is you can't change the past. Like, it is what it is. I feel like I've tried to embrace that more. Like, if I were to go on TV and totally make a fool of myself and embarrass myself, at least it'd be a good story one day.
That's
you know?
true. That's
So,
true.
it's fun.
You wouldn't embarrass yourself.
No,
I might.
people say like either it's a good time or it's a good story. And I feel like that is
Exactly.
true.
Yes,
That's a good
yes,
expression.
That's a good
I like that.
expression.
I feel like that represents your way of thinking.
Yeah, I
maybe.
try to think like that.
So what's up next for you guys, like in the world of pasta as a couple?
Well, we just booked a trip to Tokyo, and we're bringing our two
That's
daughters,
fun.
which we're very nervous about. But Steve is running the Tokyo Marathon,
Oh, wait,
and
that's
so
so
we
good.
decided to turn it into a family vacation. And we've never traveled with our kids to that extent before on that long of a flight. So that is something that we're preparing for. And then I'm gonna keep doing my social media, my cooking videos, and I really love to write. I love to write another book, even if it's not another cookbook. I love writing fiction.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we'll
that's
see what
fun.
happens, but I want to keep writing in some way.
Or you could do Top Chef.
Yeah.
Or, who knows? Maybe I'll do something like that. Yeah.
How long does it take you to like prepare for a marathon?
It depends. I'm kind of always running. So there are maybe 3 months of like where I've really ramped up my long runs. But I kind of run almost every day, even when I'm not in like dedicated training.
Do you ever like make him come on your runs?
I used to, and then I gave up.
It was bad for our relationship.
Yeah, he's never been that mad with me ever before.
One time
And
I cried. I remember.
You cried.
he has no problem going for runs without me. He's totally fine going off for runs
Well,
without
maybe
me.
you're
It's just
too
with me.
fast.
So
Yeah,
maybe
he's
you
so much
outrun
better than me,
him.
so much faster, and I couldn't keep up. And it's just not for me. I don't love to run, and he loves to run. So it's like, it was hard because it's something he is so passionate about, and I really kind of hated. And so I always felt like it was just not something we should do together.
one year when I ran the New York City Marathon, he did jump in for a couple miles with me.
Oh, really?
People say like you have to like really do it a while before you get like the runner's high thing.
I don't really get the runner's high.
No, you
either.
don't. Is that a
Like,
myth? Is that a-
I really wish I did because it sounds amazing, but it's hard. Even at the end of a run, it still is hard.
Okay. So dispelling the myth of the runner's high.
So our first game is you guys are going to be reading cheesy food-based pickup lines to each other as best as you can,
Oh,
and then
all right,
ranking
all
them
right,
on
all
whether you
right.
think they're
Steve
good or
is
not.
intrigued.
I'm just thinking how long it's been since we've done pickup lines ever of any genre. You want to start?
Who wants to go
You can go
first?
You can do it.
You can't even read it. It's not bad.
This is another problem. I will get into giggles and I will not be able to do this.
Yeah.
That's me.
Are you risotto because you take time but you're worth it?
Oh, that's
Clever
sweet.
one.
Also, he loves puns, so like
Oh,
these
really?
are
These are
all up his alley.
dad.
He loves dad
I've
jokes.
been doing dad jokes long before I was a father.
Are you lasagna? Because I love your layers.
That's cute. I like that. It's really cute. You just get laugh every time.
These are excellent. Do you like raisins? How do you feel about a date?
That's good. That is good, actually.
That's
I like
pretty
that one.
smooth.
Are you honey mustard? Because I did not expect to love you this much.
That sort of suggests that all people don't expect to like honey mustard.
I hate honey mustard.
Oh, well, it doesn't work for you then.
Are you a bakery? Because you have got all the buns.
Are you pizza? Because even when you're bad, you're still pretty good.
That's a good one.
That's really good,
That's really
actually.
good. That might be my favorite.
These are like all ChatGPT.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
they
That's
are.
exactly what they are. Okay, so it's time for the second game. So as you put on these blindfolds, basically our producer is going to come in and bring you guys 3 different eclairs each. And you guys are going to have to say which one is the most and the least expensive. So you're going to rank them all from 1 to 3.
All right, let's do it.
All right, I'm handing you each a
Okay, this is the first
Okay.
one.
Eclairs.
This is option 1.
Okay.
So you want us to take a bite
Yeah, just go for it.
and okay.
Okay.
Thoughts upon first tasting?
What the fish doing?
I think this might be a lesser expensive one.
Why?
That's not bad.
That's a
Is it
lot.
bad?
No,
We have
it's
to
not
hear Steve's
bad.
opinion because he's the expert.
Not bad.
I feel like it could be better. Hope we don't offend any bakery out there.
I'd like to try the other ones before judging.
Okay.
But I might agree with you on this one.
We won't be saying what the bakery is, so don't worry.
It's okay.
Plate coming in. We have napkins for you guys. when
Okay.
you're done.
All right, ready to go on
Ready?
this one?
Yep.
This is better.
This is much more chocolatey than the first one.
Yeah,
Is
this
that
has a
good?
lot more nuanced flavors. The first one was like a little one note, and this has some interesting flavors.
Okay.
It's more of like a very soft chocolatey filling.
Okay.
So we think it's more or less
I think it's
expensive?
more. I think it's more.
There's one more to go. Oh my god. That's great.
You have
All
it?
right, ready for
Ready?
the third?
Okay.
Guys are ready.
Ooh,
Whoa,
different
this is
shape.
different shape. Oh yeah,
will-
it was like a donut one.
Hmm.
Is it good?
I think I like this donut one the best,
sure.
but it's
Interesting.
maybe the least. Maybe I would say the most expensive was the second. The middle one was the first, and this was the least expensive. But I think this is probably my favorite to eat.
Okay.
I agree with your rank order. I think this is probably like a Dunkin' Donuts one, which is really good, but it's like much more sugary than chocolatey.
Are they right?
Two was more complex.
Yes.
Are we right?
Full points. Oh my god, good job. You're right.
job,
Really?
Yes. Is that Dunkin' Donuts? Yeah. So the official prices are the last one was $1, the first one was $3, and the middle one was $9.
I could
pretty
see that.
close.
Yeah. I mean, I do think maybe I have cheap taste because I did like the $1 one, but it did taste a lot cheaper than the others.
I feel like you can't beat Dunkin' Donuts.
Exactly.
This is not an ad.
Exactly.
Not an ad for Dunkin' Donuts.
We love a sponsorship though.
Well, thank you guys so much for playing. This was so much fun. I hope you enjoyed the conversation and at least one of the eclairs.
Yes, thank you. We had a good time. This was
Yeah,
really
this was
fun
really
for
fun.
us.